friends to meet, which hopefully are none, just a few. I'm Amy Howard, the proud president and CEO of the Dawson County Chamber of Commerce. And I was reminded, just celebrated my 3rd anniversary. Or should I say as president and CEO, or long before that, so it was not new to the chamber, but I just now feel like I'm figuring it out. So thank you all so much for coming today. We're excited to have you. 2024 is going to be not only a great year, but it's going to be very, very busy, and I mean in more ways than one. We do have a lot of events that are coming up. We do have some sponsorship opportunities. We have some cornerstone investor information on your table, but we also have lots of opportunities for you to promote your business with the chamber this year. They are filling up fast, so please be sure that you get with myself or one of the staff members, and we will be happy to go through that for you. We are trying to complete our sponsorship by the end of January. Would be phenomenal, so we can print all of our 2024 banners and all of that. So very excited about that. But before I go into all of our events, I want to introduce our luncheon hosts today. Ms. Faye and Rusty there with Mathnasium of Coal Mountain. They have some goodies there for you, and we're going to give them a moment to tell us about what they do and how they can help our community and our students. So come on up.
Very much. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good. So how many of you have heard about Mathnasium before? That's pretty awesome. So Mathnasium is a math-only learning center that provides supplemental math instruction and help to kids from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. We also do SAT and ACT studies and help, but predominantly we're elementary and middle school children. So how many of you have heard from your kids, whether it's directly or grandparents, that the kids come home with a math problem and you look at them and you go, I have no idea how to do that. Right? We can all identify with that. When they come to the center, I say the same thing. So math today is really no different than math when we all grew up or were in school. It's just taught in a different manner. At Mathnasium, what we like to try to do is make math make sense. So when a child comes in, we first start off with an assessment. We look to see where are they so we can meet them with a specifically designed learning plan to help them get over those gaps. If a student comes in and has homework help or has quiz prep, right now they all come home with little study guides, right? They don't have books, but they have a study guide. And it might be the very first time they've looked at that study guide and the test in a day. I can tell you that I wish I had $1 for every time I had a student walk in our door that says, I have a test tomorrow, here's my study guide. Have you studied? That's like a foreign word, study. No, that doesn't matter. But we try to help them get through that. Now obviously we want to be very well prepared to plan and get them through there. So typically after the assessment, when they enroll, we do a twice-a-week scenario, an hour each time, unless they're high schoolers. High schoolers, we still let them come for an hour and a half because they have part of the subject matter to go through. And over a period of time, we have seen some significant increases in math understanding. And that's the goal. The goal is not to make straight A's, well, it is the goal. Let's not kid ourselves. But really, we want kids to be able to understand the math and make something that makes sense to them. We've had kids walk in the door and they learn the Mathnasium method, let's say as an example, for determining the percent of a number. And they'll say, that's not how my teacher taught me. Well, fine. You show me the method your teacher taught you, and I'll show you how to do percents. Because what's the definition of a percent? Anybody? How about per 100? Right? So if you had, what's 7% of 250? Who's got that answer? 17 and a half, right? Well, how did I do that? Well, I took 250, took how many hundreds are in 250? There's 2. 7 times 2 is 14. What's half of 100, right? It's the 50. What's half of 7? 3 and a half. Add them together, that's how you get 17 and a half. So while they're still struggling to understand that concept, we've already blown through and taught them how to do percent no matter what it is. So we try to keep it simple learn the steps, and you become a math genius, or at least an understanding. So that's a little bit about us. We'll be happy to talk about anything you want as far as math is concerned. On your tables, you'll notice that there is a QR code on one side. Please take your phones, click on the website. That actually takes you to the national website for mathnasium as opposed to art specific. So in the zip code, put in your zip code, or put in our zip code, which is 30041. And then you can get directly to our website. You can sign up your student for an assessment at that site. You can call us and get all that information as well that there is. Second of all, within the packages that we put on the table, the little bags, there's a business card, there's also a tablet, of course a lot of swag from that, and a pencil, so never forget the pencil. Anyway, I appreciate it, we appreciate it very much, I and myself. I look forward to being here many more times.
All right, did anybody else get lost in all that math? I consider myself a math person. I'm going, oh, my brain hurts. No. So thank you so much for sponsoring today. Please reach out to them. Let them be a resource for you and your family. And get stair steps, right? They don't learn it when they're younger. They're not going to get it when they're older. So it is important to get them in there before it's too late. That is our future workforce. That's a whole other subject for a whole other day. So sponsorships, we have covered that. We do have some upcoming events. Tuesday, January 16th at 1 p.m., we have a ribbon cutting with Heath Family Medicine. January 17th, I hope you all have seen this in Chamber Chatter, but at 9 a.m. at the City Hall, SBDC is doing a free class. That doesn't always happen, y'all. So a free class on small business lending. So please be sure you go register online. It will be at the City Hall. January 18th at 10 a.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Night Fire website services. Tuesday, January 23rd is our next business after hours. So that is our next networking event. It will be at Swan Lake Overlook. So if you've not been there, be sure you make it to this one. Don't be alarmed. I told my board this morning, don't drive your Maseratis though, because it is on a dirt road and there are animals inside where we're going to be, which is beautiful, but I just don't want you to be shocked. Wednesday, January 24th at 1 p.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services of Georgia. Thursday, January 25th is the last strategic planning session for the downtown development. So please be sure you show up. Amanda Edmondson is back there. She'll be happy to answer any questions, but it will be at the City Hall as well. Wednesday, January 31st at 11 a.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Nano Environmental Solutions. Thursday, February 1st, another ribbon cutting. Jessica's keeping us busy. We're scheduled till March, which is great. I love it. 11 a.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Big Peach Running Company. Tuesday, February 6th is our next Coffee and Commerce. It will be at Jewelry by Celine from 8 to 9:30. We did a little earlier, fellas, so that you get your Valentine's Day gifts for the next week. Just FYI. She does nice giveaways too, so maybe you'll win something. Wednesday, February 7th at 11 a.m. we have a ribbon cutting with Northside Dawson Primary Care. Okay, that only takes you to February 7th, so your calendar should be nice and full. I do want to go ahead and plug a reminder. We do have a lot coming up on the ballot this year. Please stay tuned to that. We have T-SPLOS that will be coming up. We, as a chamber board, decided to vote yes to help support that. There'll be a lot of information coming out about that. And I'm going to turn it over to Dan and let him give a little update. Is this okay right here for the voting on T-SPLOS about
I have a question. How many of you that are Dawsonville registered voters know which district you live in? Commissioner and or school board? Well, we're changing the voting precincts. You're going to have to know where you live and what district you live in. You're going to be getting new registration cards later this month in preparation for the presidential preference. And the reason we have to make this change, we've added 8,000 or 9,000 new voters in the last 7 or 8 years, and not in parking place. And the center built out where we were voting. So we're going to be voting out at Rock Creek Park and at the election office here in town. 80% of you will be affected by this change. 20% of you just still go where you were. Pay attention to your voter registration card, and you can go to Secretary of State's My Voter page and download a copy of it. Thank you.
And it's very important, so y'all check the mail, you'll be getting it, don't just throw it away when you get it, really look at it because you'll be wondering where to go when it's time to vote and we need you to vote. So, let's turn it over to our fantastic membership director, Jessica Grigsby.
Happy New Year, and I was going to take a few minutes because I know everybody does a New Year's resolution, and I'm going to tell you mine. My New Year's resolution was to get up here and not be nervous. Not happy. I'm standing over there, my heart's pounding like crazy. I'm like, okay, it's fine. It's all family. It's perfectly fine. So, I am going to go over a few members of your cheer. I'd like to say a few words that are introduced up. I always say elevator speech because there's quite a few people here. We got to get stuff going, so we can know that in the long run. Here we go. Harris Capital LLC, Fusion Construction Group, Sarah Cox, Northbound Photography LLC, Slush Ivy Latif and Poetry, Big Beach Run Walk and Hike, Granddaddy Man's Distilling Co., 11 Brainfield LLC, Tire Discount Incorporated, Whataburger, Heavenly Design Co., Beautiful Outlaws, Beautiful Outlaws D, I apologize, Media Precision Web Design and CEO Services, Outback Steakhouse, Smithfield Construction Group, Sweet Designs, Committee to elect Michelle Paul Incorporated, Manning Plumbing and Septic, R&R Electrical LLC, OC Roofing Systems LLC, Keith Family Medicine, RCR Hydraulic Repair, Jeremiah's Italian Ice, Dawsonville, Precision Glass LLC, The Lab Depot, Smithfield Foods, and the Perfect Gatherings Catering. So, all those have joined since last. So if this is your first luncheon and you'd like to introduce yourself, or if you're a new member and you'd like to introduce yourself, we'd love to have you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Michelle Hall. I am running for Superior Court. I'm currently a magistrate court judge in Hall County. Your chief Superior Court judge, Kathleen Dawson, has decided she's going to retire after 38 years. So we're really sad to see her go, but I'd really like to follow in her footsteps. So if you will vote for me on May 21st, then I'll get to continue all the things that she's done for the last 38 years to help the people in the criminal system. She does mental health court, so she talks about people who have diagnosable mental illnesses. She does background services with them and tries to make sure that they have a stable environment to live in so that way they don't reoffend. So that's something that I really look forward to taking on if I'm elected. So I appreciate your vote.
Yes, Rochelle Ford with RCR Hydraulic Repair. We're a small local business, do repairs in hydraulic cylinders, motors, primarily for industrial, but also the small business like your wood splitters and stuff like that.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Rodriguez. I'm with my husband Alex Rodriguez, and we are owner operator of Big Peach Running Company, a franchise. We opened our second location in Dawsonville on November 24th. We're super thankful to be able to provide this service to Dawsonville. It's our passion. It's what we enjoy doing. And I wanted to let everyone know that we are starting our first walk group this Saturday, and it is out on our social media, but we're meeting at Lanierland Park on Saturday at 8 a.m. and it will continue every Saturday. And you can go at your own pace. You do not have to run. It's not competitive. It's just a great time to meet other people. And if you're, had a New Year's resolution and it is to become more active, we would love to see you there. And we're super excited to be part of Dawsonville. Thank you.
afternoon. My name is Jerry Allen, and I'm the CFO and minority partner for the Lab Depot. A lot of y'all may be familiar with the building, maybe not necessarily with us. We've been in the community for about 18 years. We're right off the Luncheon Campground Road, across from Ward 400 Waste, kind of down in the bowl, so you can only really see the top of the building when you're driving by. This is our first time to join the chamber, and I was already scolded by Amanda because it's taken us 18 years to get here, so I apologize.
Better late than never.
But we're glad to be a part of the chamber, we've been in the community for a long time, and we are a science laboratory distribution company. We sell science products all over the United States. We have 23 employees here locally. We're not a lab, but we have had folks trying to drop off specimens. So I just want to encourage you, if you have to give a specimen, please don't bring it to me. But glad to be a part. Thank you very much.
I'm going to take advantage, like most of you know me, I'm calculated from Cameron's parent. I've been with you for 25 years, cared for 24 of those years, and up until the last couple, I've been a member of the chamber, and then I had to kind of drop out. I had some medical issues and work on getting transplanting for kidney, which was kind of a big thing for a 50-year-old woman, but we did it anyway. And so now I'm stable, happy, working, and now I'm well doing. So call me.
Yesterday when she called me and she wanted to join, I was almost in tears. So you know, we've been in Dawson County for a long time. It's amazing to be a part, but I always want to feel like you're always welcome back to that change. So I appreciate you being here. All right, anybody else?
All right, so we should have covered everything. Your New Year's resolution. Mine is getting more accurate, so I'm like, oh, of course I'm here. Like, I've got to go get some new shoes. My excuse before is I don't have to drive to Cummings to do that, so now I have to, all the things. But I did also give Kathy as a success story during the board meeting today, and that truly means a lot to us to have those who've been around and been supporters of the chamber to come back to us. It just is a good sign that we're doing things the way we should be doing them, and we're in a wonderful, wonderful community. So I'm excited for y'all to be here to hear from Chairman Billy Thurmond. He is a very, he doesn't really need an introduction, although I have one that I'll pull up. But the state of the county, or the state of the county, we are in such a great community. And we have great elected officials that really help support and foster growth and stability and preservation and all of the things. So we're excited to hear from Billy. He's serving in his second term years. Billy served in the public safety for 35 of those years. In the last 15 prior to being elected, he served as our emergency services director. He spent 17 years as a dual role with Parks and Recreation and EMS. He is married to Miss Lisa Thurmond, who until her recent retirement served as Dawson County's Chief Magistrate Judge. They have 2 sons and 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws. They're grandparents to 4 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. That he even has time to help serve our community is just phenomenal. They're the joy of their lives. Billy is a member of the Kiwanis Club, and he and his wife are members of Zion Christian Assembly. Billy's vision for Dawson County is to make sure that anything we do as a board improves the quality of life of our citizens. Please welcome Chairman Billy Thurmond.
Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate that. One thing you forgot, Dan, I will say this: if they don't read their card, they need to go to Earth. Just go to one place for that.
It would be beneficial if they would vote early. 17 days.
There you go. That'll work as well. Well, one thing for sure, Mandy, is a lot of people want to hear about what's going on in government, but they didn't read the agenda. Before they start. So I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasure to represent you as the chairman of the Dawson County Board of Commissioners. I come to you with greetings from my fellow commissioners. I was looking around to see if any of them slipped in on me, but I don't think they did today. That's okay. I was gonna let you ask them the questions. Maybe that's the reason I didn't come. Thank you for the invitation. Let's see, he told me how this works, so let me see if I can figure it out. Get it to work. All right, so now I'm going to talk to you about the state of Dawson County, and I'm going to put it to you simple. The county is in good shape. Good financial shape. We've got a good department, and good elected officials who do a good job for you and the people who come to visit Dawson County. Here's the areas that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today, some of the transportation projects that we have going on in the county, some things happening in our planning and development department, Squash 7 projects that y'all helped get Squash 7 passed, and we appreciate that. That allows us to do these things for our different departments and for you, the citizens. Talk about the finances of the county, what funding options are that we use to do the things that we do for you in the government, current VOC projects, and challenges. Yes, as a government, we do have challenges. And then I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have as well. All right, this is small. Our Public Works Department, they work with the state as well as with the federal government on some projects that are funded through the state and the federal government. When you talk about federal funds, most of the time they're pass-through funds that come down to the state, and then they help counties with projects. And some of the projects the state's going to be working on, and when you start talking to the state, they give you all the way out to 2028. But I don't talk to you about what's going to happen in 2024. State Road 9 and Bannister Road, they're going to do a roundabout there, and that's going to start somewhere around June 2024. And Mill Creek Road over here, right down below the courthouse, that bridge is going to be replaced, so there's going to be some detour going on right there, so kind of remember that. That's going to begin early this year. State Route 52 from State Route 183 to Guillermo County line, the state's resurfacing that, so we're headed up to get up toward the halfway places and be prepared to stop. And then these are things that have been in progress that you've probably already seen. The bridge on 136 and Code 03. Several researching things going on Georgia 400. Got a lot of phone calls on that. They wanted to know why I couldn't research that road at night. And I said, well, I'm not doing it. Ask the DOT. All right, and then State Route 400 and Harvey Church Road and Luncheon Campground Road, there's a signal upgrade there for prevented left turns, so they're working. You'll see the state out as well as some of the county projects that are going on. The county's going to be doing a roundabout at Shoal Creek in 136. The state's going to be involved in that. The county's going to head that up. Bird Creek Road, we're going to resurface that, and that's going to be with some splash money this year. And that's going to be an FDR project, so that's a full depth reclamation project. So if you get on that road, you'll think, oh, they turned it back into a dirt. Until it gets all the stuff that needs to go on to it to get where it's repaved. Nick's Bridge Road is going to get some deep patching and some resurfacing. Chesapeake Court, same thing. Laurel Lane and Shoal Creek Road all be resurfaced. Most of them will be done with what's called LMIG money, the local match that we get from the state. There'll be a lot of road projects as you try to drive around in 2024. Our planning department, obviously, they're extremely busy. They're always busy. They've got things going on. This was in 2023. You see we had 1,264 business license renewals, 349 new businesses. So all those ribbon cuts you've been going through, now you know why you've been going. Commercial building permits, these are build outs that were already there, maybe a tenant change or something along those lines of 137. New commercial permits, they're always looking for new business, and so has that many new business, new commercial structure permits, commercial side permits, residential building permits, these are repairs or upgrades to existing residents. Now, new single family residential units. 518. So we've had several, and I'll show you some more of it in just a minute of all the residential that's going on in the county. And that number's going to look small because you see all the other ones that are associated with that. And the board dealt with 16 zoning applications in 2023. So the other stuff that Public Works and the Planning Department have worked on is the transportation element that we added to the comprehensive plan. We wanted to make sure that we had an idea of what we need to do, knowing that we're going to continue to grow. We need to be able to move traffic out to places. So we did a transportation element add to the plan, and also completion of the Luncheon Campground Road corridor study. That's one of the most congested areas that there is in the county. So we want to try to find out better ways to move traffic from one area to another. Here's, I'm going to show you a concept layout of what Luncheon Campground and Dawson Forest could look like when we get to that point where you see the extra lanes. Now you're still going around the roundabout, the extra lanes to move it there a little bit better. And that's in that transportation plan. And we also did the 5-year update for the comp plan. If you don't know what the comp plan is, that's our zoning plan, basically, how we determine what is and is not going to be coming. The comp plan is a citizens-based plan. We take input from all the citizens through public hearings. We have a survey. Our long-range planning committee, which is a group of citizens that volunteer, had a big part in that as well, is helping us come up with the comp plan. What I try to tell people, and I want them to understand, is please be involved on the front end. Don't wait until it becomes a backdoor issue because it's been too late. So help us at the beginning throughout the entire time. And we're always looking to update this plan. Just because it has to be redone every 5 years by the rules, we don't wait that. So any ideas you have, we're always open to those. Now, you the people that are in business, this is what we saw in 2023 when it comes to commercial projects. These are all of the new businesses, and there's a couple in there that opened up and not even on there, like Outback and whatnot. And so our commercial side is growing as well as the residential side. And of course, commercial businesses, as you know, that are in business, you're counting people. If you have people, that helps you as a business. So they're looking at that as well. I won't read every one of those to you, but that's some of the things that came to the community over the past 12 months. Now, this is the one that always gets people excited. This is the residential side. Now, as you see, all of these projects are in different phases of construction. Some of them have moved an inch of dirt. Some of them just started moving some dirt. Some of them are 80–90% complete. And some of them are 20 to whatever percent complete. So they're all over the place. Well, if you look at that, if you added that up, I don't know what that adds up to, but as we saw in that other slide, 518 residential permits were pulled. So that tells you how many that were pulled in 2023. Now, some of these projects have been going on for quite a while, and most of them are multi-year. It takes quite a few years for some of these to get built out. It's not like they're going to get built out in 30 days or anything like that. So it takes a while. So I know it's one of the biggest things that the board has to deal with when it comes to zoning and growth and stuff like that right there. Now, talk about some of the SPLOSH projects you'll see start, and some of them will actually come to complete fruition in 2024. Right, as has already been mentioned, I think Pam mentioned it, we're building a new EOC 911 center, a facility that will actually be safe for our workers in those disaster times when they need to be safe. Right now, And 911 is on the second floor of the sheriff's office. Not a safe place for a tornado. And EOC is on the second floor of Station 1, and it's about as big as that table is there. Here, thank you. So, we're building that as something that's been long needed. In conjunction with that, we're going to have a new radio system for our public safety people. It's sad to say, but that's needed to be replaced for years and years and years, and we've worked on that with your help. Half the squash now we'll be able to do. I told the guy that got the contract, Motorola, that it's bad that our school buses have better radios than our patrol cars. So this has been long needed, and so we've worked on this for years. Even when I was in public safety, there just wasn't money to get it done. So now we're going to get that done. All right, so we got some ambulances that we have gotten, that we had ordered last year. They're not in service yet. We're waiting on the state to come out and inspect those. We've got a couple of those. There's squash projects as well. And we're doing some security upgrades in the courthouse. Public Works, we'll see some Public Works vehicles, and of course they'll paint some roads, fix some culverts and stuff, some of the money they'll have. We'll buy some vehicles for the county administration so that they can get out and do the work they need to do. And we'll replace the playground equipment at both Rock Creek and Veterans Park, which has been long needed with squash 7 as well. All right, so let's see. How do we do all this? Well, talk a little bit about the finances of the county. Once again, I can stand here like I did last year to tell you proudly that all of our department heads and elected officials stayed within their budget or came in under it. So we were able to add money to fund balance, and fund balance is money that we have left over. We keep a certain amount of just to, in case we have an emergency. We try to keep at least 3 months worth of operating funds in fund balance. And we have that and then some, so we're very proud of that. We adopted the 2024 budget. Our general fund budget is going to be $43,437,258. And then all funds, which there's multiple funds, there's just a long list of them that the board has to approve, and that's $69,664,740. Now, where's that money coming from? This is the revenue. Property tax is at the top, and then local option sales tax. Local option sales tax can be spent on everyday stuff. Squash cannot. Squash has to be spent specifically on the items that were approved by the voters. And then you see that list of all the other revenue items that gets us down to that $43 million. Dawson County, being in the state of Georgia, all the counties in the state of Georgia have to have a balanced budget. So we have to work within the balanced budget and amount of money that we have. One of the things that you look at the difference between 23 and 24, we added some new positions. We had 13 new positions. We made, we'll talk about this a little bit more in a minute, we made huge investment into our employees, especially on the public safety side, in an effort to try to keep those employees. We talk a little bit more about the challenges we have with the labor force, but we really have challenges in public safety, trying to keep public safety people because of all the things that have gone on in the United States over the last several years. People have gotten out of that business, and it's been very difficult to try to maintain a quality force. This is just a pie chart. As you can see, property taxes are 34% of our revenue. I'm proud to say that Dawson County is on the low side of that. As I travel around and meet other commissioners at some of the functions that I get to go to, some of them are 70, 75%. That's how they run their counties on property taxes. Ours is at 34, and they look at me in amazement and go, huh? But the big thing here is, and y'all are very familiar with this, because you're involved in it, is self-help. I mean, for a small community, we still are a small community. Even though we have 30,000+ people here in Dawson County, we are generating over $11 million a year on it. That tells you, of course, the mathematician over here. How many $1 million of sales there has to be to generate that? So, you know, I'm not into math like he is, but that's $1 billion plus. So there's lots going on, and people are spending a lot of money, and people come up here. The great thing about sales tax is 80 to 85% of that is from people that don't even live. They come here, they buy something, they go home. And one of the things I tell people a lot too, when they talk about the growth and stuff, our daytime population in Dawson County is huge. Like I said, we have 30,000 plus people, 32,000 people who live here. But I guarantee you on days, y'all know this because you're on 400 a lot. You probably have 100,000 people here in town. So they're here and they're doing the business that they need to do here and buying stuff. And so that is a benefit to us here in Dawson County. Here's what the money's spent on. These are the different functions by which the money is spent. You have the general government, your judicial, public safety, the sheriff's office. They're our number one expense. And our other public safety entities, fire, EMS, coroner's office, places like that. Public works, health and welfare, recreation, culture, housing and development, and then transfer outs. Talk about transfer outs, we talk about things like sending money. We need money to finish out pay for our 911 department. You know, when you get charged on your phone for that, but that's not enough money to pay for the people and stuff that we do there. So we have to supplement that. This is just a pie chart. As I said, the sheriff's office, 28%, public safety, 19%, judicial, 12%, general government, 12%. Those are the biggest ones that your money is spent on. This one I'm proud of right here. This talks about grants and the money that we get from grants, both state and federal. And as you can see, our anticipation of $2.5 million in grants at a cost of $845,000, 3-to-1 ratio. So that's good. And I tell our department heads and our elected officials, if it's something we need anyway, and there's a grant that will pay for most of it or part of it, let's get it. Let's try at least put our name in the hat, see where we go. And so far we've been fairly successful in that because that's your money anyway. It's going to the state, it's going to the federal government, that was your taxes that you sent them. My job is to try to get as much of it back as I can for it to be here. Everyone to work in this county. Here are the funding options that we have. That we charge new residential and commercial. Splash 7, which started July 1st of 2021, was grant funding and other fees. We charge fees for services, so that gives us some money. And then, as Vandy said, we're going to be asking you in May to decide if you want to vote for T-Splash. Now, as I said before, there'll be a 1-cent sales tax addition if it passes. All for roads and bridges. Won't be spent on anything else. Can't be spent on anything but roads and bridges. So if we have a revenue source to be able to fund these high-dollar projects that we need to do to be able to keep moving traffic. Other than personnel, roads and bridges are the most expensive thing that we spend money on. I'll give you an example. We led a contract on 4 roads for FDR, which is the full depth reclamation, just at the end of last year, $3.9 million. A little over 3 miles. It wasn't even 4 miles, but almost a little over $1 million a mile to be able to do that. Now, could we have patched those for less? Yes. The FDR allows them to work, 15 years before we have to spend money on them again. So we can patch them or we can fix them. We want to fix them so that we don't have to keep spending money over and over again. So as you see more and more information come out on that, and you will, in reference to teach loss, we want you to be as educated as possible. We want to give you all the information on that, so you can have an opportunity to make a decision. I hope you vote yes, but we're going to give you the information to give you a chance to determine how you want to vote, because that will be up to you. Current projects that we're doing, continue to work on our future land use plan as part of the comp plan, but it's ever changing. So we continue to work on that regularly. When I first came into office, I didn't realize that this county had many ordinances as it does. And when you start reading all that stuff, and it's good nighttime stuff. Some of them as many as 150, 160 pages. So you can get your sleeping on just one. You don't have to read more than one, just one. So we have worked on several of those. When I first came to office, and that was in 2017, we had several 1998 models. And so they were a little bit outdated, so we worked on updating those and trying to get them into the 21st century to the rest of us. And so we continue to do that. That's a slow process, but we're getting there. And the planning department's done a great job working on those, working with us, explaining those to us, and so that we have a better understanding of what's supposed to be working. And of course, our service delivery strategy, we're constantly trying to improve the services that we provide the citizens and visitors that come here. We want you to have exactly what you need and deserve. And so we continue to work on that. Now, to talk about some of the challenges that we have, obviously labor force is one of the biggest challenges, especially in our public safety sector. See all the news, you saw as much as I have about the abuse the public safety sector has taken from people about, shut this down, don't give them no money, don't do this, don't do that. You got to have it. I mean, when I want an ambulance to come to my house, I want them to come. When I want a deputy to come to my house, I want them to come. So we need people to do that and to get them here. And so we've spent a lot of money in this 2024 budget working with our county manager and staff to make that happen. And so that's some training incentives that we put in there, some other things. We've increased our benefits packages and stuff to try to keep people. One thing we've learned over time is if we can keep somebody for 5 years, we can probably keep them. So it's those early on years that we battled for these people, and they always looking to see if there's a quarter here or a quarter there, somewhere else. So we are working diligently as possible to make sure that we can keep those people. Now, growth management, it's one of the biggest topics I always hear about. One of the biggest complaints that I get is growth. We're going to grow. I mean, can't stop growing. There are people who ask me to put up gates and stuff, and I'm going, can't put up a gate. And most of the time I ask them, what you doing here? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, I did put up a gate before you came. Now, I can't put up a gate now. And so what we can do, though, is we can look at ways in our zoning ordinances to help with that. And one of the things we did this year, we had about 160-page rewrite of some of the codes within our zoning ordinances that will help us better manage like the number of units that we're running on the test. And so those are the kind of things that we can do, because zoning itself is dictated by state law. If you haven't read that, that's a good sleeping one too. Read that. And so it is dictated by state law. And so, a lot of people say, well, why don't you just take this category out? Well, you can't. You can't just take, pick specific categories that we all might like. If you're going to have zoning, you've got zoning. If you don't have it, or you do have it, and I can guarantee you, you do not want to not have it. Because then it's a free for all. People can do whatever they want to do. Right, the other thing is continue to work with partners like the Chamber, the Development Authority, and the University. Everybody knows we're pretty much retail based. We want to continue to look technology-based and different things like that right there. So we continue to help them all we can. They're doing a good job. And so we appreciate their partnership as they work with us to provide the highest paid jobs we can. Because we want people to stay here. We want them, especially this younger generation, to have a job here. We want them to stay with us. And so we keep working on that as well. And that's about what I have for you. So if you got any questions, I'll try to answer. I don't know exactly what they made, but that's the name.
So it's going to be inside.
Yeah, it's inside.
On the instances, you have judicial. I'm assuming that is, sorry?
All the court systems.
All the court system. So I'm assuming that that is criminal.
Yep, the Superior Court, Magistrate Court, DA's office, Public Defender's office, every department that's associated with court. And as she said before, even, drug court, mental health court, and all those things, that's all part of that.
Is that in coalition with
Oh, yeah, anything that winds up in court, that's associated with it.
So I lived in Forsyth County for 20 years before moving here 3 years ago. And one of the appeals about living in Forsyth County was it was small at the time. And now...
Well, that was longer than 20 years ago.
Well, but it was, and I came from East Cobb before that.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Okay, so I felt like I was making progress.
I got you.
I watched a lot of growth that happened really backwards, like just allowing the builders to come in and build, and the infrastructure of the schools weren't ready.
Yep.
And so now being in Dawson County, being very passionate about this community, I want to understand, this may be a really simple question, how to get involved in, just from a residential standpoint, on understanding how to be involved in what future growth looks like and making sure that my voice is heard. So what is the best steps for me to take to do that?
I would encourage you to go on our county website. We have multiple boards and committees that we're always looking for people to volunteer on. Like the Long Range Planning Committee, for example. They're heavily involved in our looking at our growth and things like that. So they may just have some openings. I can't remember exactly, but take a look at those committees and boards that are appointed by the Board of Commissioners. We're always looking for help.
Okay.
And I tell people all the time when I talk about these committees and stuff, if you're interested, I'll put you to work. I'll find something for you. So when you look at those, try to find your top three. Because I guarantee you one of them's probably got open.
Yeah, thank you. That's helpful.
They closed the bridge at Toto Creek and 136, and they divert traffic down Henry Grady. Do you know if they're going to put a temporary light at 400 in Henry Grady?
I do not know. I'll have to check on that. I don't need a step. So probably not. You want to go probably right and then turn back. Anyone else?
Because people come into the library and ask us questions, and I know what, did that say that they're going to build a bridge at Thompson Street and 53, like where the bridge is here? Is that DOT cement? Is that?
Joe. That's what we're going to show for you. Show for you. Then there'll be a roundabout at the end of show. New bridge out of roundabout. Well, you could go up 9, go down 136. Or you could go on the side,
Out to 400 and now.
It's temporary.
It's temporary.
I'm 5 minutes away, I'll be there in an hour.
There you go. Anyone else? Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. I don't know if y'all have ever worked with He will always answer the phone. I mean, answer any questions, and that really trickles down to his staff as well. Joey, I can't say new county manager, but I guess newer county manager, he is phenomenal. He just jumped right in there and got started as well. I think that was a fantastic decision by our board of commissioners to bring him on board. I enjoyed working with him. But I encourage you to get involved. If he doesn't get you involved, I will. Let me know how that goes. But if you do want to participate or hear the budget cycle, what they really has done is he has made all of the budget hearings open to the public. So you can go in there and sit and listen to everyone's presentations on their budget requests every single year if you really want to get involved and kind of know more of how it works. Really did a great job making everything sound so simple today, but it really is a very complex. We're so thankful to have him and the Board of Commissioners here in our county and helping us make this quality of life as best as possible. I wanted to thank a few sponsors. Northeast Georgia Health System, they're always amazing partners for the Chamber. They are our business luncheon sponsors, so thank you to them for always making this a great event. Thank you to the schools for always making this wonderful facility available. You tend to appreciate them when you can't have it here, and then you have to figure it out, but then they figure it out somewhere else for us to have it. And of course, Matt and Daisy, thank you so much for sponsoring. Y'all be sure that you keep them very busy. And this is always, if there's something that really said that you're like, I can't really remember exactly what it was, we always put it up on our YouTube channel for the Dawson County Chamber. So feel free to go back, watch it, share it. Information is power, and that is what we want to be sure that we share as a chamber is factual information. So thank you all so much. Let us know if there's anything we can do for y'all, and y'all have a great rest of your day.